There's this mystery from one of Kingdom Hearts' endings that keeps me awake at night. If explored, this mystery could have a major effect on Kingdom Hearts 4 and maybe even Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. It involves a bizarre scene with Marluxia and Larxene in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. If you're not caught up to the mobile game stories, that might be okay. You still should be able to follow along, though I do still recommend you watch Union Cross. And make sure to subscribe if you like diving into Kingdom Hearts lore and theories. So during a post-credit cutscene to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross's finale, we get a cutscene that we call Destinations. It shows the destinations of all the different Union leaders and where they end up throughout the Kingdom Hearts timeline after the events of Union Cross, which lead to Daybreak Town's destruction. Before that happens, they take these machines called the Lifeboat, which allows a body and heart to travel through time safely. Ephemer's lifeboat does not activate, and we see him in Scarlet Kylum. Brain ends up in Scarlet Kylum later in the future. Scold's is unknown, but is theorized to be Radiant Garden, and Laurium and Elrina, Marluxia, Larxene end up in Dwarf Woodlands and Enchanted Dominion. And these two locations are what I want to talk about especially today, since we actually do have some evidence backing up some of the claims I'm about to make. So, right off the bat, Laurium and Elrina land in Dwarf Woodlands and Enchanted Dominion, worlds that do not exist after Kingdom Hearts 1. And the organization is formed in some vague time period between before Kingdom Hearts 1 and sometime after Birth by Sleep. In Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, we see a cutscene where we see the initial formation of the organization with a lot of the people in Ansem Study becoming nobodies. Here we do see a Yenzo who is clearly a lot younger than the Yenzo we see right now and that we know right now, proving a little bit that maybe the organization was formed a little closer to after Birth by Sleep than it was before Kingdom Hearts 1. But exact timetables are still a little shaky on that. Laurium and Elrina are a lot younger in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. We don't know the exact ages of a lot of Kingdom Hearts characters, but we do know that a lot of Kingdom Hearts characters range from young adults to teenagers. In Union Cross, they're even younger than that on average. Slight distinctions you can make that show this is Laurium's clearly shorter hairstyle compared to Chain of Memories, and Ventus's shorter hairstyle compared to what we see in Birth by Sleep. Also, Ventus in the Badlands is found by Xehanort a few years before Birth by Sleep. I'm establishing these ages and how there's clearly time that has passed here for one particular reason. As I said earlier, Dwarf Woodlands and Enchanted Dominion do not exist as worlds before Kingdom Hearts 1. They can only exist during Birth by Sleep or any time after Kingdom Hearts 1. And the reason this isn't after Kingdom Hearts 1 where Laurium and Elrina arrive is because the organization is already formed by Kingdom Hearts 1, and not to mention, not long after Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories takes place where we see Marluxia and Larxene drastically aged up. So this scene is only taking place during or before even Birth by Sleep, meaning most characters are theorized or are proven to arrive during Birth by Sleep's time period. Marluxia in Dwarf Woodlands, Elrina in Enchanted Dominion, Ventus in the Badlands, and people even theorize Scold to be Subject X, which will mean that Scold arrived in Radiant Garden sometime around Birth by Sleep, which will later lead to Axel and Syax later becoming apprentices to Ansem the Wise, for a short period before they join the organization themselves. So because the exact formation of the organization is unknown, we can definitely pinpoint that after Birth by Sleep, and Dwarf Woodlands and Enchanted Dominion only exist in the realm of light during or before Birth by Sleep. There is a slight time gap that we don't know how big, where Laurium and Elrina could be doing anything. Just extra Keyblade wielders walking around in the background during Birth by Sleep's events before they join the organization and are likely recruited by Xigbar. This could be crazy to me for multiple reasons, because Marluxia in Kingdom Hearts 3 talked about how he now remembers his purpose for being upon his death as Marluxia. Laurium during the final events of Union Cross had latched on to hope that Strelitzia could still be out there somewhere, and a key motivation for even moving on was to see Strelitzia one day again. And I heavily believe that Laurium could be looking for Strelitzia during this time period. And maybe he did find a clue, and then right when he did, he would end up joining the organization. Or perhaps Strelitzia is what would lead to him joining the organization. I'm unsure, since Lauriam and Elrond are on separate worlds, whether they eventually teamed up before joining the organization, or if they met again during the organization. It's a little bit of a 50-50 whether Lauriam and Elrond retain their memories, because Ventus doesn't seem to retain his memories, but Brain does seem to retain his memories in Missing Link. Though you could say that they likely do, because Ventus not retaining his memories from Union Cross, seemingly, would largely likely be due to his interactions with the Darkness in Union Cross and his interactions with Xehanort in Birth by Sleep. Lauriam and Elrond, however, don't seem to have anything like that happen to them until they join the organization. So until they do join the organization, there's no real reason for me to believe that they don't have their memories upon waking up at their destinations. Additionally, Lauriam and Elrond would have to figure out ways to get off these worlds somehow, because they do join the Realm of Darkness, as we see in Kingdom Hearts 0.2. So if they're on these worlds the entire time, they would also likely go to the Realm of Darkness with it. These characters were also known to have connections to the Keyblade, which is why they were recruited into the organization in the first place, which was revealed in Kingdom Hearts 3. A lot of fans have speculated that a potential non-numbered title they could do is a Birth by Sleep 2. There's actually a decent bit of request for this next to Kingdom Hearts Verum Rex. This game could not only cover events of the Birth by Sleep trio post Kingdom Hearts 3, but dive into the Birth by Sleep time period more in general, where we discover what happened with Subject X, as well as how Lauriam and Elrond joined the organization. There is a lot of plot points that seem to date back to Birth by Sleep, with it being alluded to that Vanias is one of the core darknesses. His formation is interesting. Lauriam and Elrond arrived during the Birth by Sleep timeline, which is interesting. And then we have the mysterious disappearance of Subject X, which happened during Birth by Sleep as well. And after Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, and knowing that Xehanort, Ericus know about the Book of Prophecies, have read the Book of Prophecies, I feel like there's a lot more behind Ericus that should be explored in Birth by Sleep as well. Basically, this entire time period before Kingdom Hearts 1 and before the ending events of Birth by Sleep has a lot of mystery going on that I think is going to be pivotal to the upcoming saga. I don't believe that these things were just coincidences or just happened. I think it was very purposeful putting Lauriam and Elrond in the Birth by Sleep timeline. They could have very easily put them in a time period on a separate world sometime before Kingdom Hearts 1. You just immediately see them get taken and joining the organization. But instead, they put them in the time period where the organization hasn't formed yet. So there must be a bigger mystery here that we've yet to even find out about. Maybe Lauriam does discover the truth about Strelitzia and what happened to her. Maybe Lauriam finds a clue that leads him to Quadratum and he was never able to reach it. I would love for these stories to be explored in a Birth by Sleep 2, in maybe Kingdom Hearts 4 or some cutscenes. I just want to know what happened here. I think the best case scenario would be getting another side game just covering all of this together so it could get that love, that treatment, get explored fully instead of just being like a couple cutscenes in KH4 and then they move on. Either way, I'll be satisfied, but I think the best case scenario would definitely be having a Birth by Sleep 2 equivalent. And there's also another aspect to this that I haven't dived fully into, that I will dive into in part 2 to this. There's a lot more to Strelitzia in Kingdom Hearts 4 than meets the eye. Thank you guys for watching, and remember to be nice, be safe, and take care everyone.